Hello everyone, Atram here, and we are doing an M15 draft. Ooh, that's a nice Chandra. Always nice to have a chance to pick up some planeswalkers, you know. They tend to do decently in draft. Chandra's alright. I'm not upset about picking that up. Stab Wound is an unfortunate pass. On the wheel, maybe I'll be lucky and get like this Bird Keeper and do some sort of strange aura deck. That'd be interesting. Or Wall of Mulch is always nice. I'm a fan of Wall of Mulch. But as it stands, definitely gonna pick up the Chandra here. Nothing else in this back would make sense to take over it. Let's see here. So I'm up in the corner up there. Alright. Card Chieftain. Card Chieftain's a good card. Already designates what my splash color would be, or my side color would be. But Card Chieftain is very powerful. Other options in here for me would be Belligerent Sliver or Shield of the Avatar. I'm actually a fan of Shield of the Avatar now that I've played with it a few times, but I think the Card Chieftain is just the highest overall power level of any of the cards here. Ulcerate's pretty dang good too, but I'm going to take the Card Chieftain. And I get rewarded by getting to pick up a second Card Chieftain, so there you go. Plenty of Card Chieftains for me for starting out. It means I'm going to be looking to pick up some green cards. Obviously there are none in this pack, so things to consider though. Alright, I can pick up a Reclamation Sage. It's always nice to have at least one of those effects. Other option would be a Gargoyle Sentinel, which I would be fine picking up a Gargoyle Sentinel. On the wheel, I'd be looking to see Crowd's Favor, Runeclaw Bear. But I'm going to take a Reclamation Sage here. It'll help start to fill out my curve. And yeah, seems like a reasonable pickup. Polymorphous Jest. That card can be a blowout, but I got two Card Chieftains and a Reclamation Sage. I'm not super interested in jumping into an extra color right now. The All-Attack Bloodseeker's alright. I'm not a huge fan of it because it requires you to play spells prior to combat. It requires you to play your sorceries prior to combat. But I think it's still worthwhile to pick up. Alright. I mean, I'm not taking... I don't see any reason to take Crucible Fire. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I might even wheel at this point because it's such a bad card in this format. But who knows? Maybe if you have Brood Seekers or Brood Keepers up the wazoo, it could work. Who knows? As it stands, the Crowd Favor was definitely the pickup for me there. It's a nice, easy way to give a guy first strike. You can have played a creature pre-combat and then go, oh, first strike, I win the combat. So, definitely a reasonable pickup. Alright. I have options here. Can pick up Krenko's Enforcer or Satyr Wayfinder. As it stands, I'm 99.9% certain Krenko's Enforcer is the pickup here. I don't really think I'll be needing Satyr Wayfinder. And a 2/2 with Intimidate is perfectly fine in this format. Gets through a lot of stuff. Looks like we're all getting slowed down here in this zone. Because 4s, 5, 6, 7. Anyways, point being. So far this is looking alright. It's definitely a reasonable starting place for a deck. It's green-red because of the Card Chieftains and the Reclamation Sage. And it's got at least a few creatures that are reasonable at the lower curves. Help take over the late game. Alright. I'm a huge fan of Wall of Mulch. The other option here is another Undergrowth Scavenger, but my goal is going to be to get to the later game, and Wall of Mulch is the perfect card to let me do that. So, I'm going to take a Wall of Mulch here. Undergrowth Scavenger, again, I do like Undergrowth Scavengers, but I already have 3 cards in my 4-drop slot. I'd rather have a 2-drop. Just gives me more viability. Plus, Wall of Mulch is good early game as a blocker, and game you can just sack it, trade it out for a card. Well, from this pack, this is my opening pack. Means the opening Wall of Mulch disappeared, but the second one, but the one from this guy's opening pack didn't. Weird, I guess. I'll take a Wall of Fire. I really don't care for any of the other cards in the pack, so Wall of Fire seems like the pickup. I guess I'm gonna take a. Okay, I get the choice. I can either play Hunter or take Hunter's Ambush, which I won't play, or I can take a Foil Island. I'm gonna take a Foil Island because foil. Foil beats card I won't play. All right. Well, this is already beginning to shape up into a deck. I've got a curve, sort of. I need to get more low drops for my curve, but I've got a reasonable shape. Alright, let's see. From this pack, the only real option here for me is Tyrant's Machine. I don't know if this is the kind of deck that wants to play a Tyrant's Machine, really. Probably not. It's really hit or miss. I'll pick it up just in case. I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now, though. I don't really think it's the card I'm looking to play, but you never know. I might be surprised. Alright, here I have the choice of Lava Axe or Miner's Bane. I'm going to take the Miner's Bane. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Miner's Bane, but it's a good top-end finisher for me. I suppose Lava Axe could do the same thing, but Miner's Bane also blocks, so. Blast Firebolt is perfectly fine pickup at this point. I don't see any problem with it. It's removal. It's a little late game, sure, but it's instant speed removal. And, yeah. Alright, I'll toss a wall, or an invisibility over there. Looks like I didn't wheel the Broodkeeper from my original pack, which is interesting. And I didn't wheel the... What was the bad card? Crucible Fire. Not that I expected that to wheel, but it's such a bad card in this format, I didn't really expect anyone to pick it over really much of anything else. It was probably one of the final, 2-3 cards in the pack. Alright. This is interesting. Chasm Skulker is a beast. It's pretty much just straight up a beating. There's a lot of blue in this pack. I don't really want to take a Chasm Skulker per se to play it, but I really don't like any of the green. The Foundry Street Denizen really doesn't do it for me. Evolving Wilds is probably a fine pick. Plummet, I'm going to take the Chasm Skulker. I don't think it's worth splashing at all, but it opens me up to other options. Oh my. Someone passed a Hoarding Dragon? Really? Took an uncommon over a Hoarding Dragon. That's weird. Okay, I guess I'll take a Hoarding Dragon. Thing's solid. Unfortunately, I'm passing Inferno Fist and Borderland Minotaur. But there's 4 cards in here which I wouldn't mind seeing any of these 4 back. Inferno Fist, Borderland, Marauder, not Minotaur, Siege Worm, and Titanic Growth. Any of those 4 I'd be fine to see on the wheel. Interesting. Very interesting. I have the choice between the Convoke spell here, Gather Courage, which is a very solid Convoke spell, Inferno Fist, Invasive Species, or the Ramp spell. Since my Kurd Chieftains want me to have between 5 and 10 mana up, I'm going to take the Ramp spell. It'll help fix my mana a little bit. If I opt to play weird cards like the Chasm Skulker or any other bomb rare or mythic I open, it's good to have one of these. Even 2 is perfectly reasonable. I'm gonna take a Nissa's Expedition. Alright, so now I have a choice. I can take Krenko's Enforcer, which is perfectly fine. I could take a Blast Firebolt, a Living Totem, or there's this Obelisk of Erd. Do I really have any synergies at all? Warrior, Berserker, oops. Just straight up Ape, Dragon, Elemental. Yeah, I have no synergies for that, so that's not really worth it. Another Krenko's Enforcer is probably perfectly fine. I do like Living Totem as well. It's another nice card. But in the choice between these two, I don't know which really wins. I'm going to actually take the Living Totem because it's got 1 symbol versus 2. So that might make the Krenko's Enforcer more not dedicated to the color. Okay, I can pick up a Roaring Primadox or a Constricting Sliver here. Roaring Primadox is going to be pretty decent for me because I have Enter the Battlefield effects, like Living Totem. I guess Hoarding Dragon has an Enter the Battlefield effect. It's when it dies. So you don't actually want to bounce the Hoarding Dragon. But Reclamation Sage can blow things up. Living Totem's a good Enter the Battlefield effect. Other option here is to take a Constricting Sliver. I am a huge fan of Constricting Sliver in this format. It's great removal. It just holds your opponent down so hard. But I'm going to take the Roaring Primadox and stick with the 2 colors. This is interesting. I could pick up Coral Barrier, play my Chasm Skulker, and do a little bit of a rug. Coral Barrier goes good with my Wall Mulch, so that's the main reason. One of the main reasons I'm considering that. I'm not necessarily a fan of doing a Rummaging Goblin, and Lava Axe is kind of, it's Lava Axe, it's alright. I'm going to take this Coral Barrier. We're going to try doing some funky stuff here. Okay. Probably don't need this Miner's Bane. I got 2 Curd Chieftains for my late game, so that's fine. Tormod's Crypt. Do I need Tormod's Crypt at all? I don't see any reason why I would really need Tormod's Crypt. It's more just like for reprint purposes. I could take another Tyrant's Machine, but I already have one in here. So, I mean, this Tyrant's Machine basically just ends up over here because of Hoarding Dragon. I guess I can take the Tormod's Crypt. I don't see any, but it's not like the worst thing out there, so. Alright, I can either pick up a second Blast Firebolt, which is fine if I'm holding my opponents off to late game. Or I can pick up a second Crowd's Favor, or I could pick up a Scrapyard Mongrel. Scrapyard Mongrel is pretty neat if I can get some artifacts online. And worst case, it's a 3/3 for 4, which is kind of vanilla, but I think I'm going to take it. Okay, so this would be my opening pack from this. I'll take the Plummet as a sideboard card. Wow, both of these wheeled? Huh. So I get the choice of a cheap creature or a removal spell that also has the benefit of making like Krenko's Enforcers punch harder. I'm going to take the spell. Okay. I don't really need any of these. I'll throw a Shrapnel Blast in my sideboard. Never know. As it stands, I'm actually pretty happy with how this is looking, so we'll see. I can pick up a second Blast Firebolt and some junk at the end of the pack. Take a Forest spell. Hey, I can actually play both of those lands. It's a sign. It's all a sign. Now let's see what we open in this one. This should be interesting. Life's Legacy. Stoke the Flames. Stoke the Flames really good. Life's Legacy is pretty solid though. I'm a fan of Life's Legacy, Stoke the Flames, and Krenko's Enforcer from this pack. I'm also a fan of the Snipefire Giant. It's actually playable with that, and probably straight up wins games. Interesting. Stoke the Flames. I'm a huge fan of Stoke the Flames too. It's just really good removal. Life's Legacy has a chance of wheeling, so I'm not going to take it. I like it, but I also feel like people undervalue what it actually can do for you. I am going to take one of these two. And it's hit or miss which one I like better. It's probably Stoke the Flames, because Nightfire Giant would require me to have one swamp in my deck. And if I'm playing these guys, it's not worth it really. So it's going to be the Stoke the Flames. I like the removal. Although if I'd taken the Nightfire Giant, there's a Covenant of Blood, which is also perfectly playable. But there's a Sacred Armory, which goes pretty well with my Hoarding Dragon. Gives me another option of what to get with him. And I'm pretty much just fine with that. From this pack, I'd be looking to see if Siege Worm comes back or Naturalize for a sideboard effect. Siege Worm, Naturalize, I guess Rummaging Goblin. If Covenant of Blood for some reason wheeled, which it won't, I'd grab it. And I'd probably play. Okay. Master Predicaments is pretty solid. Heat Ray is just great removal, and probably the pick. Charging Rhino is pretty solid too. Scrapyard Mongrel is pretty good, but I think Heat Ray is just straight up the pick. Instant speed removal works well for me. Master I like, but I just don't see him being what I want to be playing in my deck here. Alright. I can pick up a Goblin Rough Rider. Gives me a little more middle game stuff. Yeah. From this, I really don't see anything else I care about. Maybe a Willforged Golem, but that card's only alright. It's not as good as I originally had believed, so it's probably just Goblin Rough Rider. This is an interesting one. I can actually use his ability with like Tyrant's Machine and Sacred Armory, and it's not awful. And he's a 4/3 for 4. Other option is a Reclamation Sage or a Goblin Rough Rider. Interesting. He probably doesn't end up making the final cut in the deck, so I'm going to take a Reclamation Sage. Okay, I can grab a Paragon of Fierce Defiance here. I have 1, 2, 3, probably cut that, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures that it buffs. I'm fine to go with that. That's a very late Covenant of Blood. Wow, that's a 7th pick in this pack, or 6th? I can't remember. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6th pick in this pack, Covenant of Blood? Was all the rest of the stuff in this pack just that much better? That seems weird. I'm gonna take it. I really don't care for any of this junk. And as I thought, Life's Legacy wheeled. I'm happy about that because it's a card I will play in this deck. It's equal to the power, correct? Yes. Okay, so what did I do with it? I double clicked on it and it disappeared over here. There. Okay. So I can sack Scrapyard Mongrel to get draw 3. It's pretty good. I like it. It's a good tempo-y card. Well, not tempo-y, because actually you're using up 2 cards to draw however many cards. It can be good, like post-combat, if I still have mana open after pumping something with card Chieftain and I no longer feel like I need that thing, I can sack it to draw cards. I'm a fan of it. I know some people aren't. Whatever. Their choice. Not everyone has to be a fan of the card. As it's this deck is looking pretty solid. I'll take a Naturalize for the sideboard. I already got 2 Reclamation Sages, so I don't think I need the Naturalize. I'm always iffy on whether or not I want to splash for Covenant Blood. The card is pretty dang solid, though. And with Nissa's X, I can find the colors I need for it. Pick up a Charging Rhino there. Probably cut 1 Blastfire Bolt and run 1 of each of those. Military Intelligence. Wow. Do people just not value that card or something? Actually, surprisingly enough, I would probably play these 3 blue cards. Undergrowth Scavenger? Really? Wow. That thing gets big. That's the easiest way to say it. That thing gets big. I got a lot of cuts to make here. So, the real question is, how do I want to go about the cuts? I suppose if we were to start off by cutting all the splash cards, that would be a position to take on this, for starters. I lose out on 2 creatures, a removal spell, a draw effect, but I make the deck more consistent. So, let's start with that. Let's make the deck more consistent. I might still end up splashing for Covenant Blood because I do like the removal effect. And it gives you that life gain as well. Can help kill off Planeswalkers if your opponent has a Planeswalker. It's an alright thing. Interesting. I'm gonna need to split this by creature versus non-creature in a moment. As soon as everyone finishes up whatever picks they're doing, there's 2 people still working on last pick apparently. They just opted to care. Okay. So let's take a look here. So we have, I want to start off by bringing my removal suite down. So this is a pump / pseudo removal, so it's fine. This helps with removal. That's removal. That's removal. Is that all my removal? Well, Chandra technically counts as removal, but it's not really what I'm expecting. Okay. So then what other effects? We have a Tyrant's Machine, which the main reason I'm going to be playing that is Boarding Dragon. So Tyrant's Machine's fine. Let's see, so that's 5. Here's the 4th slot. 4 drops, 2 drops. Okay, so can probably start by cutting this Wall of Fire. If I cut the Wall of Fire, I probably also cut the Wall of Mulch. But I like the early game from both of them. They help with protecting you while you get set up to hit them with bigger things. Alright, let's see. Scrapyard Mongrel is fine, but not great. Goblin Rough Rider is playable in its CMC. Reclamation Sage is fine. I have to cut 3 more cards. Let's see. What do I cut? Probably focus down here on a few cuts down here. I probably don't need it. It's alright, but it's not great. I like the little thing between this. I can spend 2 excess mana to draw an extra card with the Life's Legacy. So that's a neat little thing that I got going there. My removal suite's only so-so, but I think it's fine with this format, there wasn't a heck of a lot of removal anyways. My bigger creatures are reasonable, a 4/4 flyer, and a 4/4 that can only be blocked by one guy. I also have Undergrowth Scavenger, which usually becomes really big by the end of things. Roaring Primadox is fine. That's fine. This is... I'm going to cut this Scrapyard Mongrel. He's only so-so. I can probably cut this Nissa's Expedition. It's probably the final cut, is this Nissa's Expedition. Either that or play the Nissa's Expedition. I get to bring in the extra removal that is Covenant of Blood. And I cut, like, Wall of Fire because of the double red needed. And I could actually even, with this deck, I curve out at 6, because Covenant of Blood gets cast for less than 6 most times. Nah, we're going to cut the Covenant of Blood. That's not worth it. It's a reasonable card, but it's not worth it. I'm going to cut it and Nissa's Expedition. So let's sort this by converted mana cost. This is already sorted by converted mana cost. Okay. So I have 5 2-drops. So two 1-drops, neither of which I'll use on turn 1. 5 2-drops, 5 3-drops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4-drops, 2 5-drops, 1 6-drop. So I'm kind of mid-rangey deck. It's an alright configuration. Kind of wonder what it'd look like with the added blue benefit. I'd end up taking out... So, if I add in the blue, just for shits and giggles, I'd add in that, I'd add in that. Probably intelligence, because drawing cards is fine. But then Military Intelligence kind of wants a different kind of deck than this. This is more of a mid-rangey. I don't necessarily expect to have... It's alright. And I'd add in that. The question is then, what would I take out? I'd probably take out like 1 Reclamation Sage. I'd take out maybe Crowd's Favor. Yeah, see, the problem is I don't really like what I have to take out, because it's like you take out Wall of Fire, you put Coral Barrier. That's only alright. You take out some other stuff, it's not enough for this. This deck really just wants to be a 2-color deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 9 to 19, 2 to 1 ratio. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's probably just fine. So we're gonna sort this. Okay, I'm gonna submit this. Oh, I guess we'll see you in round 1 right away. So, I was the last person to submit. Whenever that happens, I kind of just meld these videos together here. So this one's getting merged with the round 1 video. So it's a longer video than normal, but it includes draft and a show of what the deck can do, which is actually perfectly fine. I've got no problems with that. Alright. So, let's see. Doesn't this like dock or something like that? No? Alright, well, whatever. It can just go away. I guess we lost the die roll. We're waiting for our opponent to decide what they are doing. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Oh, this is a mulligan. Yeah, that's a mulligan. Ooh. I'm a mull one time. Okay, this one I'll keep. I've got a Reclamation Sage, so as soon as I hit my 3rd land, I can start doing stuff, and it should be just fine. And my opponent's got an Elvish Mystic, which isn't great. Awkward. Means he's gonna be on. Oh, no. I guess he had why he kept his hand, probably. Okay, so he threw away Siege Dragon in that. Wow. And there's gonna be a train coming in just a moment. I apologize if it gets really noisy again, but that's what I have to deal with where I live. So, I definitely need to hit the next land for the Reclamation Sage. Not for the fact that it's a Reclamation Sage, but for the fact that I need some creatures on the field. I apologize if you can hear that. It's loud for me. I don't know how loud it is for you. Alright, another Satyr Wayfinder. So it's red-green versus red-green. And he had a Siege Dragon. Interesting. And a Bronze Sable. So lots of little guys over there. Alright, we hit a land. That allows me to at least play my Reclamation Sage. Now the beauty is, this thing's already a 4/4. Oh, and my Reclamation Sage actually kills the Bronze Sable, so that was a unexpected benefit there. It's a good thing you tapped to play an artifact, I guess, right? He swings. I'm going to trade this for his Elvish Mystic, because it basically kills off a land of his, and it throws more creatures in the graveyard to make my Undergrowth Scavenger even bigger. Land? Yes! Okay. Boom! Thank you for filling up your graveyard. I enjoy having a 7/7. It was very nice of you, sir. Very nice. Suppose I could always like life Undergrowth Scavenger to get it to draw 7 cards. Don't really necessarily feel like that's on. Okay, a Wall of Mulch is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll swing with this and murder something of his. Or I'll murder some of his life points. Whatever, his choice. He's at 3 cards in hand, so he's even to me. Really wish Life's Legacy was an instant. That would be really nice. But as a sorcery, it's still a playable card. I might turn my Wall of Mulch into a cantrip at the end of this turn here, so it'll soak up 2 damage from that guy, and then I can cantrip with it. Okay. Cantrip. Alright, Living Totem. And another Reclamation Sage. Okay. Well, I'm going to play this Living Totem before combat, because I'm going to make that thing stronger and hit him for 8 this time. So this will bring him down to 5 life. Puts him definitely within range of other spells. Stoke the Flames won't quite kill him yet, but 1 damage off from that. So I'm looking to potentially turn the Undergrowth Scavenger into cards here, but I'm debating whether or not I want to turn that into cards, or maybe if I like draw land, I'll play Reclamation Sage and just cycle 2 cards. It's hard to really say which I want to do. He's got a lot of mana. Okay, he's got Hot Soup. Sure. Sure, I can't block your 2/1. Go for it. Alright, so I'll take 2, go to 12. I can play Reclamation Sage, which actually now gets me the effect of Reclamation Sage. Land? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to just play this Reclamation Sage. Blow up his hot soup. No soup for you. You shall starve instead of having soup. And then I'm going to swing with both of these. Actually, yeah, swing with both. Kill off 2 of his guys here. Or kill off 1, take him to 3. That's fine. I think I will do that at the beginning of next turn. I don't need to do it right now. So, yeah, I don't need to use the Reclamation Sage just yet, but I would like to use it to get some extra cards at some point here. Alright. So he's going to smack me for 3. He's got 2 for 2. He's got 2 cards in hand. He doesn't seem to be acting like he has anything. So I'm not too worried about it because he's just kind of going all in with his little 2-1 there. Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Life's Legacy, draw 2. Maybe I hit Stoke the Flames, just straight up kill him. Maybe I just have guys. Could hit Inferno Fist, which allows me to kill off 1 of his guys. Or just, you know, straight up punch him in the face for more. Benefit of Inferno Fist as well is that now he has to block both my guys, actually. And then I can still just punch him in the face with it at some point here. Or I can punch his final guy afterwards. So I can actually just wipe his entire field here. Just punch that, kill off that. His entire field just got wiped out in that move. And I should be in a pretty solid position here. Because I have 6 mana to Blast Firebolt any one thing that he plays. And we win game 1. Awesome. Alright, so far so good. So him milling himself did a lot of good for me there, because it made my Undergrowth Scavenger just huge. Let's see, I know he has Siege Dragon. I can kill that with things like Blast Firebolt. I might actually bring in the second Blast Firebolt to help deal with long-range things in Wall of Fire. He does have a lot of little stuff, but he didn't show me anything big aside from the Siege Dragon in his graveyard. I'm going to try it like this. We'll see what happens here. Alright. Interesting. It paired people up alphabetically. A versus B, C versus I, S versus T, U versus W. I wonder if it does that normally. Well, our opponent is debating sideboard choices right now. Not too much to say about that. I think having the extra Blast Firebolt, because he has a lot of ramp, and then he's just left with little guys aside from whatever other big thing that he has in his deck, because the only big thing I saw was a Siege Dragon. So I picked up both the Card Apes, so unless there was a third Card Ape as well, I think I got him on the Card Ape issue, so that's pretty good for me. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright. And I have to mulligan again. If I had a green instead of like this, I might have tried it, but land, I'm mulliganing definitely. Alright, I'll try this one. I know this will kill off a lot of his little guys, so all I'd like to do, so I'll get to kill that on turn 4 at the very least. So, and I'll get to cast my Pyromancer on turn 4. Obviously, I'd love to, you know, cast things before then. That would be ideal. Alright, he's up. Alright, he's milling himself. What'd you mill? Siege Worm, Juggernaut, and you kept a mountain. And you played another elf. Okay. Well, you got ramp. I'll give you that much. Because you're going to be at 5 mana this next turn. Play your mountain. Go ahead, do it. Play your mountain. There we go. Okay, so I take 3. Next turn I play Reclamation Sage for no extra value. Oh, never mind. I got something else to play. Play Krenko's Enforcer. And then next turn I get to play Chandra Pyromaster and just start blasting things. Krenko's Enforcer will keep down his 1/1s and Chandra will just start picking them off. Should be fun. Lots of fun. For me at least. For him, we'll see. He might not be enjoying himself so much. Alright, so what you got? You have 6 mana. Your Siege Dragon costs 7, which is nice. You're throwing away an Elvish Mystic for 1 point of damage, which seems like a bad idea to me, but you never know. We'll see. Okay, Crowd's Favor, sure. I should have expected that because I think I saw him mill it last time. So, whatever. Chandra, you want to get out there and shoot and stuff? Sounds good to me. Who am I to deny you from killing some things, you know? Go have a blast. Enjoy yourself. Have fun setting the world on fire. Burn, baby, burn. Eventually. There we go. Burn, baby, burn. 1 to you, 1 to one of those. Let's start reducing that mana advantage you got there. What you got? He probably has like a lightning strike or something, so he's gonna strike Chandra and then deal 2 to her. I don't know. Maybe. Or he's contemplating how he can't beat Chandra. That could be it. Okay, so Chandra's probably going to take 2 here. Yep, Chandra's taking 2. So, that much is expected. She has to kill off another Elvish Mystic before anything else. That's big. That's big. Kill off another Elvish Mystic. Then I will... Or I won't kill off an Elvish Mystic. Sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to just do that now then. Burn that thing out. So that way you still can't kill Chandra. Because keeping Chandra alive is going to be one of my few ways of having any advantage here. I need to have the repeated use of Chandra. She's going to go to 2 here, then she's going to go back up to 3 to kill this Mystic. I'm actually fine that he used a pump spell to negate Chandra. That seems good to me. Ideally, I draw a land, play Hoarding Dragon. Yes! Dreams do come true. 1 to you, 1 there. And we'll play this Hoarding Dragon. Because you know what Hoarding Dragon does? It keeps Chandra alive. Yes, we will use the artifact in my deck. It's a Sacred Armory. Alright, so far so good. Yep, pretty much took out all the wind out of my opponent's sails with that one. We'll go one here, one there. Just keep removing things. Think I'm going to let Chandra go down to 2 and get in for 4. Although, now that I realize it, I should have just played this pre-combat because really I just gave up a spare damage point, but whatever. I guess I'm just in the mood to take the scenic route to victory. That's all there is to it. We're in the mood to take the scenic route. Day. So I get to punch through 5 damage in the air next turn. If I draw a land, I get to blast firebolt this guy and just punch through 7 damage. He might have Siege Dragon in hand still. Okay, so that's annoying. So Chandra's going down to 1. At this point though, Chandra's still done enough that I'm perfectly fine with whatever happens. I'm going to 0 her. Try to get an extra card out of this. Crowd's favor, you say? Well then. I guess we should use Crowd's favor since... By the way, that's huge. Might as well use Crowd's favor. Make certain that I got you dead next turn in the air, even if you get through my Paragon. If he goes Land Siege Dragon, just under the assumption that that could happen, I probably 0 try to find a land and then blast firebolt the dragon and kill him would be my thought process. So at that point, the best option is actually to block his Krenko's Enforcer with my Paragon because it gives me that out to this line of play that could happen. We'll see if this line of play does happen. Nope, I just win. Alright, well there you go. Won the first match. I will see you all in round 2.